Hello beautiful people. Here's a quick review of the Swiss C-3604 aircraft added to War Thunder in the Leviathans update. Hope you enjoy. With the addition of the Swiss Air Force to the German tech tree, Germany also got access to this excellent for its battle rating C-3604 strike aircraft. The aircraft sits currently at battle rating 2.7, which for its capabilities is pretty low. And luckily for our wallets, Guardian changed its status from initially a premium to a regular tech tree vehicle. Historically, it entered Swiss service in 1942 and stayed in service until 1987, although highly modified as an aerial target tug. If I should compare the aircraft to another group of aircraft, it would be the Soviet IL-2 Sturmoviks. In-game it fills out the same role with a similar, but in a certain aspect much more powerful secondary armament option. Let's start off with some of the pros for this aircraft. Armament. The C-3604 is equipped with 3 20mm cannons and 2 light machine guns. Each wing contains a cannon and light machine gun, while the third cannon is center mounted in the engine. The 2 wing-mounted cannons are FFK HS-45s, while the engine cannon is an FMK HS-45. Now the performance between the two types are almost identical, but the center-mounted cannon's AP round can penetrate a couple of millimeters more armor up to 41mm, and for this battle rating that is very good. These Hispano-Suiza cannons are some of the best 20mm cannons you will find in the game. They're even better than the Hispano Mark Vs used in British aircraft. They have the same rate of fire with 750 rounds per minute like the Mark Vs, but with high muzzle velocity. Defensively, the aircraft has a gunner who can use a dual machine gun setup able to fire up to 1200 rounds per minute. Flight performance. The flight envelope of the aircraft is average. It has a top speed of 560 km/h, reached at 6,400 meters. But that number is completely irrelevant since you will never be at that altitude in-game, at least not in mixed battles. Close to the ground where this vehicle belongs, we are talking about maybe 450 to 500 km/h or a little bit more in a slight dive. The C-36 has all 3 sets of flaps, combat, takeoff and landing, which is pretty useful. The stat card claims turn time is 19 seconds, which is of course rubbish. Never take a stat card's turn time at face value. Rate of climb is indicated close to 11 meters per second, which is probably closer to the truth. Now what I said about it being like a Sturmovik also refers to the flight performance. The engine sound, by the way, is that of a Sturmovik as well. This aircraft handles like an IL-2M Type 3 or very close to it. Self-promotion activated. Now I have made a quite extensive guide to the Sturmoviks why I am pretty certain about this assessment. Oh, by the way, go watch that guide if you're interested in and use the Soviet Sturmoviks. I spent a whole month making that damn guide, and frankly it is the best guide to that type of aircraft for War Thunder on YouTube. And about now there should be a pretty link in the upper right corner of this video. Self-promotion deactivated. Secondary armament. The C-3604 has excellent secondary weapons. You can either carry 8 50kg bombs, 2 200kg bombs, or whooping 16 8cm Olicon rockets. This type of rocket is, including this aircraft, only used by 4 aircraft in War Thunder, and for a battle rating 2.7 aircraft, that rocket is crazy. The rocket can pin up to 300mm of armor, which means it can defeat any armor this aircraft will ever be used against. One thing to note though, the type of warhead is heat, and we all know how heat works or does not work when making contact with armor. So unless you hit and detonate ammo, don't expect more than a critical hit at best. The 8cm rockets are very fast and fly in a straight line, so they are somewhat easy to aim. And here's a quick mini guide on how to aim with these lovely things. In an initial slight dive, we get up to around 450 or 500 km/h, and then you should aim with a second horizontal line from the top down. For around 350 to 400 km/h, use the space in between the second and third horizontal guideline from the top down. And around 250 km/h, use the second lowest horizontal guideline from the bottom up while in a slight dive. If you come in at ground level, you need to go even lower on the reticle or actually below it. The first rocket is fired from the left wing and the second from the right, and then back and forth. Now you have 16 rockets at your disposal, and since you normally don't fire them all off right away, you can lose track from which wing a rocket was just fired, but fret not. All you need to do is look at the number of rockets you have left. Even number rockets are fired from the left wing, while odd numbered are fired from the right wing. Let's look at some of the cons. Flight performance. With the 3604, it is very important to always keep up the speed. Once you drop below 250-ish km an hour, it becomes quite unwieldy, just like any Sturmovik, and the engine only produces around 1200 horsepower, so there's not a lot of power to accelerate with once you're down at that low speed pit. Here is an example of what I mean. I was chasing the Stuka and I could barely keep up with it just because of low speed and engine power. So as a tip, always keep up the speed with this aircraft, preferably over 350 km an hour. Light machine guns. The light machine guns in the wings and the guns that the defensive gunner can use are the same type. Compared to the German light machine guns, these are worse. They have lower muzzle velocity of around 800 meters per second, compared to the around 900 meters per second for most German equivalents. And worst of all, none of the belts have any bullets with incendiary components. So the chances of setting an aircraft on fire with this light machine gun ammo is pretty much zero, and that ain't good. So what are we getting with this C-3604? We are basically getting, as mentioned, a Swiss Sturmovik in flight performance with slightly worse offensive armament but stronger secondary armament. Besides the premium German captured Sturmovik, this is the only attacker Germany has for lower ranks that is somewhat capable of dogfighting combined with strong ground attack capability. I'm quite happy that this aircraft was added. The Olicon rocket also means that you can easily bring this strike aircraft up to battle rating 6.7, and no, there's no armor that cannot be penetrated with a rocket. Furthermore, if you had not spent time and effort researching strike aircraft, like the battle rating 4.3 DO335 or the battle rating 5.0 ME410 B6R3, fret not, just put this aircraft in your lineup and you're good to go. Okay, I think that about covers the C-3604 in short form. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember to deploy your dive brakes. Have a good one.